Hi there, and welcome back to day 2 of the Julia SewAlong. My name is Cassie Fussell, and we're going to continue today with 3 goals. We're going to cut out our fabric, we're going to cut out our fold over elastic, and we're going to sew our side seams. So let's get started. Alright, so here I've got my fabric laid out and folded over. So the pattern piece is set right on the fold. This is the Dusty Mauve bamboo spandex that I'm going to be using. And I contacted the fabric fairy to find out what a good coordinating color would be for this fabric. And she suggested the creamy coffee. So that's what I'm going to be using. So we're going to cut out our front and back piece. And then we're going to use the elastic chart to cut out the fold over elastic. There are 2 strap pieces, and it also goes into the back. And then there's a neckline piece, so there's 2 of the longer pieces and 1 shorter piece for the neckline that you're going to be cutting out. Now I am actually going to be sewing a lengthened version of the camisole, so if you are going to do that, I'm going to put a tutorial about how I lengthened the camisole, so you can stop here, and before you cut that out, you can check that out if you want to do a lengthened version. That'll be up on my blog, which is adoreyoussew.wordpress.com. Alright, let's get the fabric cut out. Alright, I've got my pieces cut out. I have the back and the front. Now I'm going to put them right sides together. I'm going to use my Wonder Clips to hold them in place. And I'm going to be using my serger to serge the side seams together. You can use a serger if you have one, but it is not necessary. In fact, most of the sewing for this camisole, when you're attaching the fold over elastic, you're just going to use your sewing machine. So as long as you're using a stretch stitch, that's like the lightning bolt stitch, or a zigzag stitch, you will be fine because knit's not going to fray, so you don't have to worry about finishing the edges. I wanted to quickly talk about thread as well. I have just always used Gutermann thread, and if you're going to use the Dusty Mauve bamboo spandex at my local store that carries it, I found that color number 359 was a pretty good match for the fold over elastic, and also for the fabric as well. Now I don't use this in my serger. And my serger, I just use regular maxi lock thread, and I'm going to actually use a gray color. All right, let me get that pinned. Okay, here I have my side seams clipped together with the right sides together, and I'm going to sew the side seams with my serger with a 1/4 inch seam allowance. Now you'll notice when you lay the fabric on top of the back side that there's more width in the front side. So just as a quick word of caution, make sure that the fabric is laying fit really well right on top of the back piece, because if one of these little folds or something gets in the side seam when you're sewing it, if you have a serger, it's possible that you might cut a little hole in the fabric, so just make sure that they're nice and flat. Another thing is I always use Wonder Clips when I'm using my serger, because it's easier to notice a Wonder Clip versus a pin, and if you hit a pin with your knife on the serger, it's possible that you're going to damage it and you'll have to replace and get a new knife before you can keep sewing. Alright, let's get it sewn together. Alright, so that is our last goal for today, for day 2. Our side seams are sewn together. Here is the camisole, my daughter's camisole, with the side seams sewn together, and I actually gave them a quick press. I used the polyester setting on my iron just because my thread is polyester, and just to play it safe so nothing melts, I use that setting. So feel free to give it a quick press if you want. It's not a necessary step, it's optional, but I always like to have my side seams nice and crisp. Join me tomorrow for the last day of the sew along, we are going to attach our fold over elastic to the neckline and get the straps, and then we're going to put the rings and sliders on, and we're going to hem it, and we'll be done. I'll see you back here tomorrow. Thanks for joining me.